Myself Sahana, presently studying in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Department of Information Science and Engineering. And today in this video, I'll be going to talk about on the topic of brute force approaches and the greedy method. And let's begin the topic. Introduction to brute force approaches. Brute force approaches involves systematically enumerating all possible candidates for the solution and checking each one. This method is often the simplest to implement but can be highly inefficient for larger data sets. And next, brute forces is commonly used in problems where the solution space is small or when other methods are too complex to apply. And you can see the brute force branching, that is input and output. The weight is 15.12 and value is 315, and weight is 8.98 and value is 235. And next, the output weight is 9.98 and the value is 225. This is about the introduction to brute force approaches. And next, characteristics of brute force approaches. Brute force approaches guarantee finding the optimal solution if allowed enough time and resources. They do not require any domain specific knowledge or heuristics. The main drawback is their exponential time complexity, which makes them impractical for large instances of problems. And its brute force approaches, the steps we need to follow. Techniques for finding optimal solutions to hard problems relatively quickly. Backtracking, and third one is branch and bound, and fourth one is combining efficiently solutions with brute force approaches. And next, at last, other issues. These steps we need to follow the brute force approaches, and this is about the characteristics of brute force approaches. And next we are going to speak about examples of brute force approaches. A classical example is the traveling salesman problem, where all possible routes are evaluated. Another example is password cracking, where all combinations are tried until the correct one is found. Brute force is also used in combinationally problems like the knapsack problem, when the number of items is small. And you can see the example of shortest path covering all the nodes, and this is about the examples of brute force approaches. And next, introduction to greedy method. The greedy method is an algorithmic paradigm that builds up a solution piece by piece, always choosing the next piece that offers the most immediate benefit. Unlike brute force, greedy algorithm do not consider the overall problem structure, focusing instead on local optimization. Greedy algorithms are often simpler and faster than brute force approaches but do not always yield the optimal solution. Greedy is always simpler and faster than the brute force method. And next, greedy method. There are the methods of greedy methods. A greedy algorithm always makes the choice that looks best at the moment. And next, the hope is a local optimal choice will lead to a global optimal solution. And next, for some problems it will work, may or may not work. And next, greedy algorithms tend to be easier to be a code, and this is about the introduction of greedy method. And next, characteristics of the greedy method. Greedy algorithms are efficient, typically running in polynomial time compared to the exponential time of brute force method. And next, they are often easier to understand and implement due to their straightforward decision making process. Next, however, greedy algorithms can fail to produce the best solution in problems where local choices do not lead to a global optimum. Next, greedy algorithms are the first one. A greedy algorithm always makes the choice that looks best at the moment. It makes a local optimal choice in the hope that the choice will lead to a global optimal solution. And next, at the third option, that is greedy algorithm yield optimal solutions for many but not all the problems. This is about the greedy of the characteristics and algorithm of the greedy method. The next examples of greedy algorithms. Next, a classic example is the coin change problem, where the goal is to make change using the least number of coins. And next, another example is Kruskal's algorithm for finding the minimum spanning tree of a graph. Next, Umpman coding is also a greedy algorithm used for data comparisons based on the frequency of characteristics. And next, greedy method, the changing making algorithm solution is greedy change making algorithm. The solution is greedy change making algorithm. For instance, the algorithm works with the denominations, that is C1, C2 up to CR. Procedure change C1, C2 up to CR values of coins where C1 greater than C2 greater than up to CR and N is to A positive integers. And next, this is the procedure of the greedy change making algorithm. And next, for the example of US currency, we may have quarters, dimes, nickels and pennies with C1 equals to 25 and C2 equals to 10 and C3 equals to 5 and C4 equals to 1. And this is about the greedy change making algorithm, the solution with example. This is about the examples of greedy algorithm. Next, comparisons of brute force versus greedy approaches. Brute force guarantees an optimal solution at the cost of time and resources, while greedy methods prioritize speed and simplicity. The choice between these methods often depends on the problem constraints, size, and nature of the solution space. Many problems can be solved by both methods, but their effectiveness varies significantly from one problem to another. This is what the difference of brute force versus greedy method. When to use brute force approaches. Brute force is suitable for small input sizes where exhaustive search is feasible, and it can be a fallback option when no other efficient algorithm is available. And next, problems with a small solution space, such as simple puzzles or games, are ideal candidates for brute force method. And this is about the brute force algorithm and when to use brute force approaches. When to use the greedy method. Greedy algorithms are preferred when a problem exhibits the properties of optimal subtractors and greedy choice property. They are ideal for problems where an approximate solution is acceptable and speed is critical. Problems like scheduling, resource allocation, and certain graph algorithms often benefits from greedy techniques. And this is about when to use the greedy method and algorithms. You can see the picture. And next, conclusion about the brute force method and the greedy method. First, we have to understanding both the brute force and greedy approaches is essential for solving various computational problems effectively. And each method has its strengths and weaknesses, making them suitable for different types of challenges. And the choice of which approach to use should be guided by the specific problem, requirements, and constraints. And this is about the conclusion of brute force method and the greedy method, and what's the difference of algorithm. Thank you, everyone.